There's an antique shop and something in my head said stop. So I walked in. On the counter was a cardboard box and the sign said photos, 25 cents each. Black and white, saw a 30s bride and two lovers laughing on the porch of their first house. The kind of love that you only find once in a lifetime, the kind you don't put down. And that's when I called you, and it's so hard to explain, but in those photos I saw us instead. And somehow I know that you and I would have found each other. In another life, you still would have turned my head, even if we'd met on a crowded street in 1944, and you were headed off to fight in the war. You still would have been mine, we would have been timeless. I would have read your love letters every single night and prayed to God you'd be coming home alright. And you would have been fine, we would have been timeless. 'Cause I believe that we were supposed to find this. So even in a different life, you still would have been mine, we would have been timeless. I had to smile when it caught my eye. There was one of a teenage couple in the driveway, holding hands on the way to a dance, and the date on the back said 1958, which brought me back to the first time I saw you. Time stood still like something in this old shop. I thought about it as I started looking round at these precious things that time forgot. That's when I came upon a book covered in cobwebs, story of a romance torn apart by fate. Hundreds of years ago they fell in love like we did, and I'd die for you in the same way if I first saw your face in the 1500s off in a foreign land, and I was forced to marry another man. You still would have been mine, we would have been timeless. I would have read your love letters every single night and run away and left it all behind. You still would have been mine, we would have been timeless. 'Cause I believe that we were supposed to find this. So even in a different life, you still would have been mine, we would have been timeless. Time breaks down your mind and body. Don't you let it touch your soul. It was like an age-old classic the first time that you saw me. The story started when you said hello in a crowded room a few short years ago. And sometimes there's no proof, you just know you're always gonna be